Hello, guys. So I believed to start up with your topo sheets, and I believe there's no other better way than to start it up with your PPT. Okay, by making up a PPT and showing you all the different images. Don't worry, I'll try to make this class as interesting as possible because I have a lot of images to be shared, and we will be starting off with the topo sheet, most of all which you have already done, but I'm going to start from the beginning as it can be for your revision, and you can always look at the back for your revision. So what are we going to start up with now today is, I'm not going to start up with how a topo sheet, the basic features of it and all, but I'm going to start up with your contour lines and contour intervals. So that is the first one from your syllabus. Okay, so let us begin now. Now before beginning up with the contour lines, before beginning of your topo sheets, let us have a basic understanding about our Earth. Okay, and let us see the different kind of lines, that imaginary lines that is run around, that runs around from our Earth. The first kind of a feature that we can see in this map is your latitude, okay, and your longitude. If we talk about latitude, what is a latitude? A latitude is a horizontal line running from east to west of the Earth. This is a latitude. Okay, it divides Earth into northern section and the southern section. Your equator divides Earth into northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. Hemi is a term that means half. Okay, so hemisphere means half a sphere. Our Earth is spherical in shape, so our equator divides Earth into hemisphere, half a sphere, into two spheres. Okay, northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. Latitude divides Earth into northern section and the southern section, while it's the job of the longitude that divides Earth into eastern section and the western section. Okay. Now, the central longitude, that is the prime meridian that runs from London, divides Earth into western part and the eastern part. Okay. So this is what is known as Cleo. Okay. So, so when we generally get a question as to write about the latitudinal extent of India, what do we mostly refer to? Our India lies between somewhere between 8 degree 4 minutes north to 37 degree 6 minutes north latitude. Now, your 8 degree comes down, 8 degree 4 minutes north comes down, and your 37 degree 6 minutes north comes up. Why? Because India is, quite above equator. Okay, below the 8 degree 4 minutes north, you have a 0 degree line running, and that is the equator. As equator is below, so that's why Earth falls on the northern hemisphere, and that's why it starts from below, because equator is the central part. Okay, and the value from equator, that is the 0 degree, will keep on increasing as we move upwards towards the north, until and unless we reach to the North Pole, where the value is 90 degrees. Okay, so 90 degrees up to your North Pole, 90 degrees up to your South Pole will make it 180 degrees of latitude, 180 latitudes. Okay, and so this is it about your latitude, and if you join the equator too, it comes to somewhere around 181 to be precise. Okay, so this is it about the latitudes. So latitude divides Earth into northern section and the southern section. Okay, so what now about the longitude? So if we are asked in a question, if there comes a question anytime, what is the longitudinal extent of India? What do we generally say? India lies somewhere between your 68 degrees 7 minutes east longitude and your 97 degree 25 minutes east longitude. We almost refer to it like that, isn't it? Now, other thing that we should know here is India falls on the eastern side because the prime meridian that runs from your Greenwich, London, is India is eastern side to that prime meridian. India is eastward. India is at the eastern side of the London, and that's why India falls on the eastern section of the Earth. Okay, as India falls on the east of London. Okay, so this is about your latitude and longitude. So then let's talk about a little bit about your topo map. So a topo map looks in this way. There are different lines running around, okay, from north to south and from east to west, okay. And something about the topo map. Now, as we are doing the topo map, there are a few things that we should know here is about that the topo map, the requirement here, okay, And what all has been done is the topo map is filled with your different kinds of this kind of points and this kind of lines, and that we call it as a grid. Okay, grid is the cross section between your vertical line and your horizontal line. Okay, so topo map is filled with it. And before the topo map, you'll get the summary given, okay, or the heading given like the topo sheets, and there will be written like your numbers like 45 by D. Okay, there can be various numbers. Okay, that's just to resemble that this particular topo sheets. Okay, and the survey of India will be written because most of the topo sheets is done by the survey of India. But anyway, so this kind of line is given here. Now, what are this kind of lines? First and foremost, is this your latitude? Is this your longitude? The answer can be, if you write that, it can be a very incomplete answer. Okay. Now, for that, let's just understand about your latitudes and the longitudes. The latitudes and the longitude of the Earth, the difference between two latitude is around 111 kilometer. Between 0 degree and 1 degree latitude, or 1 degree and 2 degree latitude. So between 2 degrees of latitude, there is a difference of around 111 kilometer. And a topo sheet is used to see a precise location, to see the different kind of landforms that are there, to see one particular place. Now, if we check the latitude and the longitude, then how can we do it? Each degree, the difference between 2 degrees of latitude and longitude is 111 kilometers. So chances will be how, like if I ask you to see, check the topo sheets of, of Siliguri, then if you check on the latitudes and longitude, then it will come to around 111 kilometers. It will include your Jalpaiguri, Darjeeling and all of this area. So where is the precision? Where is the, precise nature that we want to study? We won't be able to study the Darjeeling point. We won't, because it's such a huge distance then that we'll have to measure. Okay, so imagine I want to check on the Siliguri here, and the latitude extent I took. Okay, and then I have to mention the whole of the latitudinal extent. Okay, around 111 kilometers. So that won't be possible. So what do we use here? We use here something called eastings and northings. So these are called your eastings. The eastings are the line that runs from north to south. Okay, these red color lines that are drawn in your topo map. These are called eastings. And the horizontal line that runs from east to west is called your northing. Okay. So what are eastings and what are northings then? Eastings and northings are actually smaller figure than your minute. So as we say 8 degree 4 minutes north, okay, and as we say 37 degree 6 minutes north, easting is a smaller figure than the minute. Okay, it's a smaller figure than the minute. Okay, like how in a clock we have hours, minutes, and seconds. Okay, so this is the same way how is it in the latitude. Just the name we have used it a little bit different. It's 37 degree, which is the largest one, like an hour. 6 minute, which is like a minute. Okay, the minute hand. And then eastings are your second hand. Okay, so these are smaller figures. Okay, these are smaller margins than your minutes. Okay, similarly, the northings are the smaller figure than your minutes. Okay, like how we have 68 degrees 7 minutes east longitude. Your northings are the smaller figure to your longitudes. Got it? So we have been taking the smaller figure of of this latitudes and longitudes, so that we can look at each of the map very precisely. That's our only motive. That's the only motive why we actually do the topo sheets. Okay. So this is our only motive, and this is why we do it. So let's talk about eastings and northings here. The latitudinal and longitudinal difference between 2 degrees is 111 kilometers. So it's impossible in here to draw a location or to identify a place. Hence, a shorter value than the minute is taken, like eastings and northings. Okay, this is the advantage of taking eastings and northings. So easting refers to the vertical lines, like I said, the north to south running lines, and northing refers to the horizontal lines, like the east to west running lines. Okay, or the east to west running lines. Okay. So here, these are your eastings and these are your northings. Don't get confused with the name. Okay. Eastings is, it's like a longitude, because, the longitude divides Earth into east and west, and that's why we call it eastings. And northings is like a latitude, okay, because latitude divides Earth into northern and southern sections, so it's like a latitude. Okay, don't get confused by the name. Just think it's the opposite. Okay, just think it like it's the opposite. Okay, like eastings are the vertical lines and northings are your horizontal lines. Okay. So here what we have. So here we have a 4-grid reference. Now, in your contour map, there are questions given. Okay, and like you see in this here in a topo map, this is how it really looks like. Okay, so in here we see different kind of features, from landform to settlements, temples, depressions, lakes, okay, saltwater lakes, brackish water that we call it, okay, and different kind of features that we see of the landform, of the human settlement, rivers, mountains, peaks, cliffs, depressions, valleys, okay, different kind of things that we can see in a topo map. And you know how the question comes? Question will become like, in the map, show me where this mountain is, okay, and you'll have to check it in the map, in the topo map first, and then you have to say them where is it located. So how will you tell them where is it located? So there are two ways you can say how is it located, and the question will be asked according to that. The question will be asked, write or give the 4-grid reference of, let's say, a mountain, a 4-grid reference of that church. I'm just giving an example. So in the map, you'll have to search where the church is or where that particular mountain is, and then what will you do? How will you give a 4-grid reference? So this is how you'll do. So imagine the 4-grid reference, imagine your point that you're looking at is this red one, and then you have these lines, okay, running around, this kind of lines running around, northings and eastings running around, okay. Then, in your northings and the eastings, you may have seen that you have different kind of numbers here. In the eastings, it starts from a smaller number, and it keeps on ascending. It keeps on increasing as we move from left to right. Just see, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, it increased towards the right hand side. And then in the northing, you may have seen that, we also have the number in the northings, and it keeps on increasing as we move upwards. Just check, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, and 47. Okay. So, we have different kind of this kind of number. Now we are asked to take out the 4-grid reference out of it. So what do we do now? So first and foremost, when we do the 4-grid reference, always remember, we start up with the eastings. We start up with the eastings. And we start up with the before line. Okay, so let's say if our point is here, we'll start up with the line which is before it. So this line is actually in around 17, we call it. Okay, so first we take the easting. First we take the 17. So we write it in a paper. We write it 17 here, because we have taken the eastings to be 17. Because soon after the 17 line, we have our place here. We have our church that we were looking for. Okay, so we have this here, and we write here 17. Then next we take our northings. So now as our northing is increasing upwards, so we will take the below figure, okay, on whose line the northing lies, upon which line the point, the church lies. Okay, as we are taking church as an example. So the line upon which the church lies is 43. So we in a paper write 43. So together it forms 1743. Okay. So isn't it? Now if you find it difficult to understand which one to take first, okay, so there is a small thing that you can do. Always make an L here. If you find out the place, where is it, make an L at the site. So while you make an L, which is the first line that you'll draw? You'll draw a vertical line. So that means the vertical line, the 17 will come first, and then you make a horizontal line. The second one is the horizontal line you'll make. Isn't it? While you make an L, what you do? You stretch a line from above to down, from north to south line, and then you run a line from west to east. Okay, so that is how you get an L. So do the same thing here. Mark an L. So first draw the vertical line, okay, and mark the vertical mark, okay, a number, and then draw a horizontal line and mark this horizontal number. So together it will form 1743. Isn't it a 4-grid reference? Didn't you get 4-digit number 17 and 43? And this is why it's called a 4-grid reference. Okay. Now I would really appreciate it. Okay, as we have done it here. I would really appreciate if you would practice it on your own and show me. Okay, I don't want to give you any pressure. I don't want to give you any question. Take a look on yourself. Okay, take a look of carry one question and just try to solve it yourself and show me. Okay, I'm always there. Okay, you can message me and you can, if you haven't understood, you can ask me your query anytime. I'll be always be there. Okay, so just do this small thing. It would really make me happy. It would make me really happy that you all are practicing. Okay, just make the small effort. Okay, just practice this question. Find a question on your own. Just practice it of your 4-grid reference. Okay. Now let us move to this 6-grid reference that we have here. Now the 4-grid reference and the 6-grid reference is almost similar. Okay, it's almost similar, and in a 6-grid reference,
I'm Bobby. My son.